What's up everyone, it's your boy LJ, and in this video I'm going to talk about credit cards. If you watched my first video, I did it on how I split up my paycheck, and so I kind of want to focus a little bit on the bill sliver, and with that I feel like a branch of bills are credit cards. So as I mentioned in my first video, this is a dual income household. So I'll start off by saying that I actually have two credit cards. One is a joint credit card that I have with my spouse, and we use that card to pay pretty much anything and everything that has to do with the house. And then I have a second credit card, which is for my own personal use. So any toys or anything that I want to purchase, I do that on my own card. So regardless of which card it is that I'm using, I do manage them both the same way. I hate to pay interest. And I'm gonna say interest because fees could happen depending on the type of credit card that you have. For the sake of this video, I'm just gonna focus on interest fees. Interest on your monthly credit card usage, it's just bad credit card management, and it's just bad money management altogether. With that being said, this is how I manage my credit card now. So the most obvious and easiest way to not pay any fees is, one, don't use your credit card. Just don't use it. You pay with cash and do it that way, but I'm not even gonna spend time on that because that's just way too much of an obvious answer. And even the next answer is gonna be a little bit obvious. Answer number two is pay your credit card off in full every month. And what I mean by that is pay it before the next statement cycle comes out. Let's just say that you're in a new credit card cycle and it's the January cycle, so you're gonna start swiping that credit card, buying things that you need, buying things that you want, all within the month of January. And right before the statement closes out, you end up paying it all off. Just completely pay it off. That way you will avoid paying any type of interest on your credit card. Basically, I mean, that's kind of another obvious answer, is just paying it completely off, having that balance not actually show up in the statement cycle, which you'll actually have to pay off for the following month. So if you're buying an item with the credit card, you really should already have the money in your bank account to just pay it off. And you're saying that what's the point of using a credit card? There's a lot of reasons for making a purchase with a credit card as opposed to with cash or with a debit card. But that again is another rabbit hole that I'm not gonna go down in this video. But if you are gonna make a purchase, you should have the money already in the bank account ready to go to pay that off. And now, aside from obvious answer number one and kind of obvious answer number two, answer number three, it's not complicated. It's just it's hard to follow along sometimes if you're not seeing the actual statement. But I'm gonna try my best here because this is pretty much the one that I tend to go with all the time. So number three is basically paying off the previous statement cycle down to zero. Let's say in January, you're using your credit card and you're buying things left and right, and by the end of January you will have spent $1,000 on that credit card. So you owe $1,000 on the credit card. In February, you receive your statement. You receive this January statement saying you owe $1,000. Maybe in the first week or two of February, you've already started using your credit card again for other purchases here and there. So by mid-February, you owe $1,500. The $1,000 that you owed in January, and now an additional $500 that you owe in February. So once the actual January amount is due, one of the things that I do is just pay off the January statement in complete. The idea being that I've paid off the January statement in full, so that I'm not paying any interest on that amount that I've spent. And yes, I still have a $500 owed from February and whatever potentially that I might still spend in February, if that makes sense. Either don't use it, pay it in full, or just make sure that you're paying off the previous statement cycle in full so that you're not paying any interest, because paying interest just sucks. It's pointless. It doesn't make any sense to me. Depending on what you have going on, the strategy might change. And what I mean by that is that, let's say that you're about to buy a house or you're about to buy a car, then you're gonna want to rethink the strategy a little bit, because carrying a balanced statement of statement might not be effective for you depending on the amounts of credit line that you have on your credit card, because of the fact that a high balance on a credit card with a low limit, like, it could impact your credit score, and then you're gonna end up getting screwed and getting a high interest rate on a big ticket item like a mortgage or a car. And that's just a very basic, very high level example just to kind of get you thinking. Like, it's not a one size fits all. Like, you kind of have to find out what it is that works for you. Hopefully that's somewhat helpful. Let me know your thoughts or what strategies you use with your credit card. Thanks again for watching. This is your boy LJ, and I'll catch you next time.